dark screen because I'm gonna go to sleep. I've been thinking about and I realized that with the whole thing about the GME situation, it's been incredibly eye-opening to me. It's a learning experience, and I'm gonna share with you guys what I learned before I lose a thought in my head. You probably wonder how come I decide to do these uh, impromptu streams sometimes. It's because I don't want to lose idea in my head, and I feel that maybe you guys could benefit from it. So let's break down what happened with the GME situation. When I saw the GME situation, I saw the stock going up, so I bought in. And then I saw this whole movement about diamond hands, and people were saying, oh, we're going to stick it to the hedge funds and we're going to take them down. Now, people will say things like, oh, it wasn't about the money, it was about sticking it to these big companies. No, that wasn't really the case. Again, I maintain nobody would put in $300, $400 or their whole retirement savings or their life or all the, wipe out their whole portfolio, like sell Tesla just to send a message to a big company. The reality is that people wanted to make money. Thing is that when people hear about this whole thing about diamond hands, it works against people because when you see a group of people who are pumping up a stock and let's say the the stock tumbles down, what they will say is, diamond hand, hold the line, we're going to pump it back up. What I've realized within the last days, and it's apparent today because I've actually looked at the chart, I've taken a step back and I'm looking at the chart. I realize that people don't want to really think of themselves as possible bag holders. It's easier to say you're part of a movement and you had diamond hands than accept the reality that you didn't, that people sold out and you're still left holding the bag. For example, I've been in this situation before. You guys know that when JD dropped 50%, I bought it at $47.03. It dropped down to $20. I felt sick in my stomach. But I diamond handed it, not because there was a movement going on, but because I believe in the longevity of the company. I believe that JD would go back to 40, go higher, and it did. Now it's $95. It went up 4% today. For GME, when I see GME's chart, I look at it last week, where it was last week, and I see how low it was, and I see how it is now. And I think the only thing that's preventing it from crashing is people kind of holding their hands together and saying, we're not bag holders, we're diamond handing it. And I don't want, maybe I'm wrong. The stock will shoot up, and there is a very good chance that it will shoot up when all the restrictions are up in place. But I don't really want to just focus on GME. I want to focus on the other stocks, the Nokia, the Blackberries. You guys know that I was holding Blackberry since it was $9.82. It went up to $26 or $27. I could have bought a MacBook. And if I had not had the whole diamond hands mentality, rationally, I would have sold sooner. But because I had this whole, oh, okay, don't worry, we're in it together, it's gonna go back up. It was my blind side, and I can acknowledge that. I'm really freaking lucky that I have a percent gain right now on BlackBerry. But I expected want to lose this idea in my head. But I looked at the chart and I can see that after hours, after 4 p.m., that's, between 4 p.m. and 9:30 a.m., the stock drops. It's not people selling during daytime. It's after hours. And because it's after hours, when I'm glancing at it at the daytime, I don't catch it. You guys see what I'm saying? I'm not seeing the sell-off, and that's why I never focused on BlackBerry because I wouldn't imagine that there would be a whole sell-off overnight and then it wouldn't recover. So that was my blind side on that part. I wasn't on top of the charts. My concern about what's going to happen to BlackBerry is I believe it is going to go down. I am going to end up losing money tomorrow. I am going to get out of BlackBerry. Um, I I looked back at it with a very a non-biased kind of viewpoint, and I thought, Erica, you were holding on to BlackBerry for the longest time. Initially, when I bought BlackBerry, it was like $12 or $13. I bought some shares, and then when it when it dropped down to like $6 or $7, I just mentally checked out. But I always believed in BlackBerry long term. Now my thinking is if I'm at a profit right now versus before I was at a loss, it makes sense for me to sell BlackBerry and then go back to it at a later date rather than have it go back down possibly to $6 to $7. This is me looking at this at a very, without any diamond hand slash, hold the line kind of vibe. And what I'm gonna decide to do in my portfolio is invest more in the longs because I don't want to ever repeat this kind of thing in my life again. GME, my total loss for that in the event that GME went down to zero, which is not going to happen, is $1,000. BlackBerry, I invested I think about $1,000 into that. Right now it's 100, but I expect to possibly get into the negative tomorrow when I sell. And this is a this is a learning experience for me and you guys to know that if you guys are looking at these stocks, the Nokias and the Kostas, I mean, like, look at Koss right now, KOSS. Look where it was 2 days ago. Or you can see it actually, it went up from something like really freaking low. Do you remember what Koss was?
Went from $2 to 80.
It went from $2
That was insane.
to
22 bucks to 80.
$89. It pumped it up from $2 to $89, and then it dropped down. I think yesterday it was around 50 or so, and I think now maybe it's at 30, maybe even lower than that. But you see, it's like you want everybody to pump it up, and then it becomes a mad rush to get out of it. And at the end of the day, if you don't time it right, you might have the wave against you, or you could be in like the situation I was with BlackBerry. It drops overnight, you don't check the stock, and then in the morning you're like, how the hell did the stock drop so much? Like, I don't remember it dropping this much in the daytime. Yeah, it's because I wasn't monitoring it, and that was why I did not want to get into AMC. I thought, like, I already had my hands full looking at GMA. I already had my hands full kind of glancing at BlackBerry. If I had another stock that I had to closely monitor, it would drive me crazy. And not AMC right now, if I remember correctly, it's around $7. So the high point, I think, was around. It hasn't really been able to, comfortably stay out of the $10 mark. And a lot of people are getting because of it. People put in $1 million, I think yesterday or the day before, they're down 50%, which is $500,000. There are people who are putting in money that they really need. If they're in debt, they're gambling it with GME, and then they put into AMC, thinking that the AMC is the more affordable GME. And once people pull their money out, yeah, that sucks. That really freaking sucks. It became a trap. And I maintain this thought. People could criticize me about this, and I'm still holding on to GME, by the way. For BlackBerry, I don't see the momentum in it. When I first found out about BlackBerry, I remember there was this whole GME BlackBerry Palantir gang, right? Palantir is doing pretty good. You guys can look at the chart. But BlackBerry, nobody talks about BlackBerry anymore. AMC, people are saying AMC gang, but because AMC is because AMC went down and nobody's pumping it up and nobody's talking about BlackBerry, like, I don't have any chance of BlackBerry going back up. I mentioned earlier, I was holding BlackBerry since 2018, so I know what the price was. It's like I was always looking at it. It was like negative, negative. So if I was smart, I would have taken my profits. And yeah, I'm smart. I would have taken my profits early with BlackBerry, and I could have bought myself a MacBook. But this is something that I learned from, and hopefully I have a profit from BlackBerry. If not, I'll chalk it up as a really big learning experience for me. And I hope that you guys, if you guys decide to invest in whatever stock, please, please, please think twice about chasing these kind of big stocks. Even the stocks that everybody's pumping up. People were pumping up SLV for I think about 1 day, right?
That pump right before it went to shit.
Yeah. So
Like I bought into it and I paper hands out of it, like you would always say, I paper hands out of
uh-huh.
it, and it went down 20%
No, but
right after I paper hands out of it.
I believe in buying into SLV because I remember I was telling you, I said, you know what, this is getting a little out of control.
I bought AG and SLV because, well, firstly, the thing with silver, and this is of course not, this is not stock
This is
advice.
just us
This is
ranting.
not
We're
financial investment
ranting.
advice. This is just my opinion, of course. Is that the American dollar is going to be worthless because we fucking printed so many of them. Like what, the
Mm-hmm.
$3 trillion in the balance sheet over the last. Precious metals make sense, but I saw it go up 25 or 30%, and it's like precious metals don't go up 30% in a day. That's fucking insane. That doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
I knew that that shit had to go back down. So I sold, and I figured I was either going to be cursing one way or the other, and I wasn't cursing because I thought it was going to go down if I kept it or up if I sold it. But it went down after I sold it.
Yeah, but it's also dangerous because what if you kept it overnight, right? You slept and then it dropped 30%, like what's been going on with BlackBerry. You see, that would have made you sick.
Black it off of, and then I bought back into it once I saw it crashed. I'm like, oh wow, I got out and it crashed from $27 all the way to 16. Let me buy some. I didn't buy as much for, but I did buy some. And now, once if I do sell out tomorrow, I'll wind up pretty much breaking even on what it would have been if I just never invested in it.
Yeah.
Which don't get me wrong, like, there are worse things to happen in life than buying into a stock, then buying back in and then losing it.
Yeah.
You could actually lose a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I should be happy. But I'm not. I'm not appreciative. I'm just thinking, damn, why did I buy back in?
Yeah, but also keep in mind whatever Lewis invests in, he doesn't go all in on that kind of stuff. Like he would not go all in on GME or BlackBerry, and he said that several times because whatever you put in, right? If you put in like $200, no, let's just say $500, and it drops by half, you lose $250. If you put in your life savings, which let's say is $30,000, and it drops by half, you lose 15,000. That can be truly crippling.
Yeah, what pisses me, it drove me nuts is there was this one person who said, I can't believe you said that you stop lost out. I heard you on Yahoo Finance. I put all this money in, and I said, dude, in my Yahoo Finance interview, I said I put less than 1% of my portfolio into this. Did you not hear that? 1%! What the fuck about me putting 1% in makes you think you should put 80% of your savings in? It's like the whole reason that I would always say I'm putting in 1%, I'm putting in 1%, is because I want to set an example that if you're investing in a totally, this is not investment advice, it's definitely my opinion, I'm not a professional.
We're
If you're
ranting.
investing in a meme, even if it's a meme that's a short squeeze that is, but you're investing in a meme, 1% of your money goes into the meme. No more than 1% goes into the meme. Do not invest your life savings into the fucking meme.
Yeah, I mean,
That drove like that pissed me off reading that because I'm like, yeah,
yeah, but you know the thing is that people, I think sometimes when they get into this investment thing and they hear about this frenzy, they think like, and they
oh,
see the
suck.
gains going up, right? Let's say 50% a day, 100% a day. They're like, oh man, I should have put more in. Why did I put more in? Why did I put more in? And if you guys look at my stream, you guys will hear me say things like, "Oh man, maybe I should have put more into GME." Like you can kind of like it's like documentation. You guys can listen back to it. And I was like, yeah, I should have put more in now. Though I think the hold the line thing slash diamond hands really blindsided me. I can fully because rationale, being rational here, like if this was any other stock, I would have sold out a long time ago for sure. You guys know that for a lot of the stocks, I have like a 10% stop limit. And what I was told for GameStop, what people were saying is don't put stocks in there because then the companies can see it and they can use that against you. So I didn't have a stop loss for BlackBerry, and I didn't catch it was going down so badly overnight, and then in the morning time it wasn't recovering. So you can imagine if it's going down 30% a day, and it just wipes out my gains, and that's exactly what happened. So um overall from this situation is this: I'm happy that I set my risk tolerance. Whatever money I lose, I will make it back through my longs, and I that's why I don't touch my longs. You'll notice that like I do not mess around with my longs at all. And Amazon, it's just like that pissed me off. I know people would say, "Oh, Eric Bezos is still sticking around. He's still gonna be with Amazon. He's just not gonna be the CEO." But to be honest with you, I was really hoping that if Jeff Bezos stayed on as CEO, he would really push Amazon's, he would do things to push the Amazon stock price to go higher because I felt like he's really competitive. I think of Jeff Bezos as relentless, and as with him not being CEO, I kind of worry. I'm like, oh, the stock's been sideways since July. I don't want this to really keep going sideways for 2021. And that's why I was kind of irked about it. But Amazon's not going anywhere. It's just like I'm thinking about the gain. So, um, hold on one moment. Let me read. Yeah, so Midnight Game says lost out on AMC, but Lucid hopefully will profit me. Yeah, Midnight Games, I don't know if you found out a Lucid because of my post or because I've been talking about it, but keep in mind, it's not guaranteed, it's a rumor. So, but I have a good feeling that, in my opinion, I think the merger will go through, and if it does, I expect to see the stock go up to $40. And if CCIV goes up to $40, I any losses that I had um what's its face GME BlackBerry will be wiped out. So, and also long-term gains for Lucid. If CCIV, if it does happen, I expect that stock to go up over time as well. Versus GME, or BlackBerry, it kind of seemed like it just you buy the top and then you hope you sell out at the top and you're not bag holding. Yeah, so I put in money that I could afford to lose, but it just like nobody wants to lose money. That's what it comes down to. So even if it was only like $50, I don't want to lose $50. You know what, David? This is not stock advice. This is just my opinion. But if you were to put any money into a stock and you were unsure about it, I would really look to an ETF. So I want two ETFs that I really like is ARKK and ARKW. There's a ARK investment, or it's like ARK Holdings. So it's like five different companies. I think it's like ARKK, or it's five different stocks: ARKK, ARKW, ARKF, and I'm probably forgetting because I didn't want to invest in that, but ARKK and ARKW I really like. So if I want to put any money for just sitting around, I would just throw it in there safely. And because it's made out of something like 50 holdings, if one company goes down, it's not like it tanks the whole holding completely. And then it also gets rearranged every so often. It is actively managed. So sometimes, let's say one holding might be made bigger, or they could reduce that holding. Yeah, no, seriously though, look at ARKK, look at ARKW. You can see the holdings yourself. I think it's kind of risky if you invest in any stock that's not well diversified. So for instance, right? Let's say something like, give me an example here. What's be really popular but not really too popular anymore? I can't remember, but there's like some kind of like popular stock. It used to be popular back in the day, and now it's not really. So, oh goodness, do you hear that? It's BlackBerry.
Blackberry. Yeah, that was the stock. There you go.
That's a song. I don't know. Is that
No,
the?
she was telling you the stock, Eric. Blackberry.
I was gonna say, is that the song to make her stock go down? Because I noticed the stock go down at night, and she's making these weird. Blackberry, we need your stock to go up, not down. So, yeah. Radio Shack, yeah, maybe like Radio Shack, yeah. So let's say you bought into Radio Shack, because let's say back then, right, Radio Shack is a really big thing. Can you really assume that Radio Shack's gonna be around for a long time? I've come to the conclusion because of this whole GME slash BlackBerry fiasco that I want to have a portfolio where I pick companies that I do not have to monitor it all the time. Like I've always had this thought about having my portfolio this way, but it wasn't really driven into my head until like Lewis pointed out to me today. He says, for the last week, right? We've kind of been just like staring at our phones. We haven't really been spending too much time together because we're just like looking up stock twits, trading view, Wall Street bets, seeing the update, kind of gauge what's going on, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And uh,
Watching thirsty hoes show up in our comment section.
uh yeah, so yeah, we're getting these like I'm single, I'm single. You know what I'm talking about? Like those fake bots who just you can tell like I'm single, I'm lonely, that kind of thing. Yeah, but he gets it way more on his channel than me because
Yeah, I get famous
he
ones.
gets yeah, he's so famous. Yahoo Finance refers to him as Reddit user. That's how famous he is. His
Okay, my Yahoo
huh?
Finance video has more views than almost every Yahoo Finance video. I'll just leave
Mm.
it at that.
Okay, okay, Reddit user. Lewis
Fuck
Rossman, the
you.
Lewis Reddit user Rossman. They didn't even link to your page, right? Did they link to your YouTube page?
No.
You know
I
what?
linked to theirs because I wanted to help a smaller YouTuber get some
That's
subscribers.
kind of cold because the least they could have done is link to your Reddit
They get
username.
less views per
They
video
didn't
than
link
you do.
to their Reddit his
You
Reddit
make 8 cents a
username.
video, and they get less views a video than you
Hey,
do.
hey, yeah, I only make, you guys saw, if you guys saw my community post, it says I make 8 cents in my one stock video. So it's not like I do these streams and it's like raking in the dough. No, that's not it. So yeah, yeah. Someone should add that to his Wikipedia page, He's also a Reddit user, as pointed out by Yahoo Finance.
ETFO.
Is there any stocks that go up slow that doesn't go down very much? Uh, Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of ETFs. Okay, David, you might want to grab a piece of paper. Let me know when you got a piece of paper and I'll tell you them, okay? Like some of them off the top of my head. That way you can do some research. Or let me know when you can write this down and I'll just say it out loud. Can we refer to Lewis as the Reddit? Yeah, you can definitely do that. He is a Reddit user, so it's not like it's a disparaging thing. It just stings that they didn't put his name in or anything. It's just like a Reddit user. It's like, wow, people want to look up like Reddit user talking about GME, GameStop. Yeah, that's something. Okay, so let me think of it. Some stocks do actually go up consistently. So for instance, like Tesla's pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna start saying the ETFs that you can look up, David. Okay, so you can, if you want right now, you can write it down, or you can replay this video, and you can right now get the, and this is stuff that I've looked up and I'm personally vested in. So this is not a recommendation, but this is just things that I like. Um, you can there is DIA, and then SPY, and I think it's VTO or VOO, QQQ, ARK, and ARKW. But the first five that I mentioned, maybe I'm misspelling one. Five that I mentioned, those are pretty damn stable. So like Spy has been around for quite some time. ARKK and ARKW is newer than that, but it has a lot of tech stocks in there, and I like it. I think ARKK or ARKW, I think ARKW has like that Bitcoin trust thingy majingy. It's not it's not grayscale, but I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. But that's why I invested into it, because I thought like, oh, it does talk about crypto and blockchain a little. And ARKK has Tesla in it. I believe it has JD in there. It also has a TSMC or something like that, Taiwan Semiconductor, that some of you guys recommended. So I'm a big fan of ARKK. And if someone was kind of unsure about what to invest in, or if they didn't want to put all their money on one stock, like let's say Microsoft, for example, Microsoft is a safe stock in my opinion. It's been around for a really long time. But if you want to go ETF, I would strongly recommend looking into ARKK and ARKW. If not, you can go and also refer to SPY, QQQ, DIA, I think VOO and VTI or VTO, something like that. Yeah, there you go. There you go, J Supernova. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I refuse to get into SLV because it's like you have to consider like before SLV came around, I heard once I saw KOSS sticking up, I was like, that. F that. Everyone's just trying to pump up a stock and then get on the early thing. Kind of like how I did with BlackBerry, right? I got in early, it pumped up, and unfortunately I didn't get out. So I might actually lose money on BlackBerry, but if you got into KOSS when it was, let's say, right before the pump, let's say like $2 or $7 or even $10, and then it pumps up to $80, you made a lot of money. But if you held on or if you bought at the peak, let's say 88, $89, and then it goes down to $30, that's crippling. That is crippling. So, but yeah, look at the chart yourself. I really highly recommend looking at tradingview.com a lot of the times when looking at stocks and the lines. I like TradingView. Tradingview.com. You guys know I like using the dark mode or the night mode. Look that up. The dark mode is so much easier on the eyes. I don't know what it is, but whenever I look at the regular mode where it has like white screen with blue line, it is kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say it hurts my eyes, but it's so irritating to look at. So if you guys are looking at charts for a long time, turn on dark mode and look that up for sure. So yeah, I just want to make sure that if any of you guys invest, you guys don't make the same kind of mistake I made. Again, it's a mistake that I can easily recover from because it was a small percentage of my portfolio. It was money that you guys knew. I said, yeah, if it goes down, like it sucks. It really freaking suck, but it's not like I'm gonna be severely impacted by it. And I don't want to say I'm happy for this learning experience, but I want to say that could have been a more way mistake. So having this kind of experience and sharing it with you guys, like yeah, I might be out $1,000 or so. I don't know, I don't know how low GameStop will go. That's why I mentioned that. But I do hope that you guys keep this in mind, and next time you see a pump and dump stock, right? Like if you see Johnson and Johnson suddenly going up for no freaking reason, or like I know Mars isn't, Mars M&Ms. Like let's say M&Ms, if M&Ms was a stock, if that suddenly rose 200%, not buy into M&Ms. That's what I'm saying. Like don't buy into a Tootsie Roll, because Tootsie Roll's fundamentals, whatever Tootsie Roll produced, it hasn't radically changed in the last 3 days, and people were just throwing money in there. I saw Tootsie go from I think $30 up to 40 something, and then now it went back down to like the $30 range. I'm like freaking Tootsie Rolls. It must be the candy of choice for Wall. Who knows? But yeah, eye-opening experience, and I don't know. I was planning to put a Wall Street Bet sticker on my laptop. Now I'm debating against it. And the reason why I'm debating against it is when I think about Wall Street bets, it's nice and it's fun and people can make, but the downside about Wall Street bets is we have to acknowledge there is herd mentality. And I don't want a person to think, "Oh, Erica, she really likes Wall Street bets. She's mentality," because this herd mentality is a reason why I'm still back holding GME. It's one of the reasons why I didn't sell BlackBerry right away. When I like if this was any other stock, I would have sold BlackBerry, um, right, way before it hit like a 10% profit. So yeah, it was a blindsided thing, and I don't want anybody else going through that kind of stuff. So um, yeah, I don't want anybody to make that kind of mistake. Like, Wall Street bets can be helpful for some people. There are people who made a lot of money off this GME stuff. If they sold out, let's say, when it hit 420 or 480 or whatever, but there are a lot of people that got burned, and I don't want to send the message that you listen to Wall Street bets, you can just trust people and you'll be okay. So I don't want to have these people become unintentional bag holders. So I don't think I'm gonna be putting on a Wall Street bet sticker on my new laptop when I get it, because I want people to make decisions for themselves. I don't want you can get information from other sources like stock twits, Wall Street bets, various Reddit threads, but don't just follow herd mentality and hold because you get caught up in the whole like hold sort of mentality. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, the thing is that I believe I maintain this. GameStop would have definitely hit $500 the day that I predicted it would, if there was no trading restrictions, if there wasn't actually the halts wouldn't have stopped them, but if there wasn't trading restrictions, then GameStop would have definitely been very, very, it shook people out, and then people said, "Oh frick, when I look at my Robinhood account, they're not allowing me to buy. I can only sell. I see the stock price go down. Oh crap, I better just sell." So I think that the original intention of holding the line and everybody going to this cohesively failed. It's kind of like you ever watch 300? That's one of my favorite movies. But if I remember correctly, there's a part where Leonidas talks about, I think it's the what was it called, phalanx, was it the phalanx, the one, that one impenetrable, um something like that. That one thing where that impenetrable sort of circle thing where people couldn't penetrate it. That one. Yeah, like they're all like a half circle and they got their shields and their spears going on. Phalanx, something like that. Um, I feel like GameStop as a movement would have been like that. And because of all the restrictions, it just fell apart. So there was a weakness in there, and the weakness that was not anticipated was the restrictions, and then the people that were supposed to hold everything together, which is the movement, fell apart, and they said, "Frick it, we're not gonna just jump onto EMC. We're gonna go over to BlackBerry and COS and Phalanx, yeah, that one." That kind of stuff. And I just saw it like divide and conquer. And when I look back at it, it's like I should have seen that kind of thing. But it's like I read Reddit on one, I see the stock, and I can see that disconnect over there. Like, you still say, when I look at Reddit, people still say stuff like, diamond hands, don't worry, we'll get it up. And then I also read, "Oh, I lost 60,000 today, but it doesn't phase me. I have my whole retirement savings on GME, and I'm down, let's say 70%, but that doesn't phase me because I believe it's going to recover." Yeah, in the event that it doesn't recover and people get more shaken out, what happens? You're going to have a select number of bag holders, and you're going to have people who are keeping the faith. But at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. If the stock price is repressed, or if the stock price goes down to 40 or 30, right? It's going to be even harder to keep the faith. So I'm not selling my GameStop. I think it's a, like I want to see it through. And I want to see what happens. Maybe it's all going to fall apart, and my loss of $1,000 is nothing compared to some of these people. And I'm going to just keep it at like, yeah, Erica, see, this is what happened when you don't stick to what your strategy is, and you get caught up in this kind of like, buy or buy the dip, and this is the buying opportunity. I told you guys, like, I did not want to buy the dip, for multiple. I bought one. Let's say I bought four at 148, and then the stock price went up, and then I bought one at 240, and I bought one at 220, and then I had some orders for 197 and 120, and I decided to cancel them. So I never expanded past the 240 and the 220 shares, because I thought, Erica, in the event that it goes down to 120, is it really safe to want to catch that falling knife? And I'm glad I didn't, because right now GameStop is at 85. You see, so if I had averaged down, it's like my average would have never gone down to 85, even if the order for 197 and 120s went through. So yeah, just kind of scary. So I'm gonna be sitting at my 176 average in the event that GameStop goes past 176. I'll be happy about it. But I do know that when I look at the chart, right, you have so many people who are around like 200s upwards, who are still holding that bag right now, waiting, just waiting for the price to go up. Yeah, this should probably be an educational stream. I think I have my channel listed as educational. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with GME. I've heard about the short interval of 50%, but then I've also heard people say that it's like 120%. I don't know what to believe. And in fact, I don't really even give a crap about what the short interest is right now, because I'm just curious to see, are Redditors, is Wall Street Bets gonna be able to push it up? But keep in mind, even if it does get pushed up by Redditors, right, you're also going to have Redditors who sell off at the same time. So if you got, let's say it pushes up to $200. When it gets up to $200, I'm going to be probably selling out by then, because I'll be like, fuck it, I don't want to hold the bag for the second time. But I imagine that if Redditors push it up, there's also going to be a number of Redditors who are going to say, yeah, you guys, I held up until you met me, and I'm just gonna drop off. So that's going to be pushing the stock down actively. And then there's going to be pressure again, people saying like, hold the line, buy the dip, rinse and repeat. And ultimately some people are going to get severely burned, because they're gonna look at the surge coming up once again, see a dip, think maybe falsely like, oh yeah, the reinforcements push it back up again, and it's not good. Yeah, I've seen I didn't see Wall Street Bets billboards in person, but I have seen them online, and the day that I saw it was the day that the next day the stock's gonna go up to 500, because I thought like, man, this is really big visibility right now, and because of trading restrictions, it didn't. Yeah, whatever you do in the stock market, I maintain like you gotta be comfortable with losing that money possibly. Or because like with the stocks, like ETFs, you have a lot less risk. That's why I'm a big fan of like ARKK, ARKW. Like, yeah, it might go up or down like 2%, 3% a day, but overall, you guys can look at the charts, you guys can look at the figures. I think it went up 7% in the last month, but I might be remembering it wrong or so. For ARKK, I know it definitely went up within the last month and the last 3 months for sure. Yeah, but the whole idea behind that is like invest in stocks and then have my yeah my investments for my new acquisitions to pay for my MacBook. And I thought it would be really nice the stock paid for my MacBook, and it could have, but my freaking dumb butt decided to hold on, and then yeah, instead of BlackBerry's paying for my Mac, it turned into I'm gonna lose money off of it, possibly. With very real chance I'm gonna lose money off of it when I sell. Yeah, so QQQ Power Shares is pretty good too. It's very stable, but I think ARKK, ARKW get more gains from that ETF than QQQ. But there was this one time, you guys, like, you know when this sorry, you know when the stock market crashed around April 2020. I remember like when that crashed, I was like, "Oh, frick, there's a big dip right now. You know what? I think long term the stock market's going to be okay." So I threw in money for like towards QQQ, DIA, VTO or VO or an SPY into my Roth. And I was surprised. I was like, "Oh shit, it went up like 48% or something." I was like 40, 44, 48%. And what happened with Tesla? You know, Tesla went down to 790 something. I told you guys on that on stream. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great actually. This is the buying opportunity." I waited till the next day, like 8:30, and I bought one share, and then now I think it's at 870 or so. So, I missed out on that extra 5%, but I gained 5%. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm still holding it. I'm still holding GameStop, so if it pans out, great. If it doesn't pan out, well, learning experience, right? So I am diamond handed in GameStop still. And we'll see what happens to it, you know. But in the event that this thing doesn't pan out, man, there's gonna be so many people wanting to, ROPE, invest in that stock. That's not really a stock. That's just, a meme thing that people joke about. But yeah, I know there are people out there who say like they wish they never invested into GameStop because if they went all in, it's a crippling amount of money. But just remember, whatever you invest in, if you want to mitigate your losses, invest in an ETF or invest in companies that you believe in the long term are safe and will not have drastic drops. Amazon will not have a drastic drop, in my opinion. Apple, even if Apple goes down, and like they have so many freaking product lines that you don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff. And yeah, something like ARKK, RKW, I really don't see that messing up. Tesla could of course go down, but I have a healthy cushion on it, so I'm not worried about Tesla. Yeah, so next time I think when there's always going to be like the next GME coming up or the next pump stock, right? Um, if you are holding into GME, hopefully you don't have too much of a loss. But if you are, just remember this whole GME saga. Just remember there are people who bought KOSS, and from $3, $2 or $3, and they pumped it up to 89, and nobody freaking talks about cost. I don't understand. I was like, how the hell did people pump this stuff so up? And I never heard about KOSS until I saw it at $89. So competent man, jeez, $100 Jeez. So, competent man, what do you think's gonna happen with the GameStop thing? What's your prediction? Do you think it's gonna suddenly shoot up or what? Because right now, I predict it's gonna go down, and I wouldn't be surprised if like nothing happens. Okay, man, that's even more money. That's even more money coming out. What did they say? February 5th, 2021. So wait, that's in 2 days, right? Two no, that's on Friday. So they think on by Friday it's gonna go up $8. Jeez Louise. Well, I'll continue holding. But we'll see if that doesn't pan out. A lot of people are gonna be bleeding out money from their calls. It's gonna be just very uneventful. I'll be like, right, GME takes in more money. Not only does the game stop, it's like the buck stops too. Yeah, I think there definitely is a short ladder attack going on. Oh, they forced to buy all the calls, forcing the brokers to buy cover the possibility. So I'm not too familiar with options, but what does that do then? Does that make the price go up? Is that how it goes, competent man? Because I don't, like I said, I don't know options very well. Is you buy some GMA and then it's my hitter. Yeah, but I mean, like $800. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous right now. Because I mean, where it's right now, it's only at 85. But if it doesn't hit 800, doesn't that mean that the people who bought the calls are going to be, it's going to expire worthless? Oh, okay, okay. Jeez Louise. Well, yeah, that's something I'm not familiar with it, but I guess we'll have to see what happens on Friday or what happens on Monday, and that means I'm probably gonna be glued back to the computer screen, and I'll just look at it and I'm like, oh gosh, please go up, stock, please go up, please. And if it doesn't, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. It's just crazy how much time this has consumed my life. I mean, if I was looking at another stock, like right now, I don't even really pay attention to BlackBerry, but BlackBerry the stock, not BlackBerry the cat. But if I was to, if I was invested in like SLV and I don't know SLV or AMC, it's like I would drive myself crazy looking at all these freaking stocks. Yeah, it's like one thing about so anonymous, like the other thing too is like this kind of stuff, it's so volatile. It takes up so much mental energy because you want to like if this thing like dramatically crashes, you want to see it, you want to, you don't want it, it causes anxiety because it's like, yeah, I'm already down, what was it, like 50% or so, but it just sucks, it's like you don't know what happen tomorrow. I don't know if the price suddenly surges up, and if it does surge up, frick, I want to be able to get out of there or think about it. I don't want to be. It's like I don't want to be doing something and then the price goes up for 1 hour, and by the time I get back to it, it's like, oh look, the price price dropped back down. That's what happened today. It went up I think it went up from 80 something, $80 up to 150, and then it abruptly went back down. It, it down to like 120, 112, 95, and now to 85. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. So I that's why I would not recommend doing this kind of stuff. If you guys ever see this kind of stuff happening, this big pump, or this whole like everybody get into this volatile stock that has no fundamentals behind it, in terms of the price. Like if you're bag holding, you're gonna be screwed. Don't just chase a stock. Don't just do a pump and dump stock. Like don't do something like the Tootsie Roll kind of thing. Because once people pull their money out, if you're not timing it right, you're holding the bag. Mm. Ah. Jeez Louise. Okay. Yeah, I gotta read that up. This gamma squeeze sort of thing. Yeah, AMC. Yeah, Blackbird's in the negative unless you got in really early, which I got in really early, and AMC is kind of in the shitter. So it sucks. But again, if anybody wants this, please invest safely. I will not probably I probably will not ever do this kind of stuff again. It's just too stressful. It's taken up so many hours of my life in this last week, and I wake up. When I make breakfast, I look at the freaking chart. I basically spend all day looking at the chart, and not really just looking at the chart, but like monitoring the price and saying like, okay, what is the price? What is the price? Okay. And I don't worry about my other stocks. Like I'm not gonna take. I don't even have to take a glance at Microsoft except at the end of the day, or Apple. It's like okay, Apple went down 3%. Big deal. Okay, let's. It's gonna go back up within the next week. Okay. Well, I will be on the lookout for that on. I guess. Well, I'll just be holding, so I'll see what happens to that. Yeah, this is just. Yeah, so whatever people try to pump and dump in the future, I step out of it. I'm just gonna say screw it. I don't want to be part of it. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not doing GME number two. Most likely not. Be patient. Yeah. I know people say be patient. I'm diamond handling it, so yeah. But it just sucks. I told you guys too. Like, I remember I was cursing at Mara for the longest time. Right, I was like, "Frick, I'm down 40% on Mara. What the hell? Why did I buy into Mara?" Now Mara's only down like I think 18%, and I look at it. I'm like, your GME stock went way down more than Mara. Oh gosh. So yeah, if I did just do all longs, and I just stayed out of the GME game, if everybody was like losing their minds over this stuff, I'd say whatever. I don't care. I'm not a part of that, but I could have lost big money too. If you have a long portfolio, that is the way. You check on it maybe once a day, once a week, once a year. It's like whatever. I know some people they're very long in their portfolio. They check their portfolio out maybe like once every couple months. And then they look at it and they're like, oh, wow, I made a lot of money because, they've been doing this for a number of years. So um, I wish that I had invested into the stock market earlier. You got, I started investing in, I think, December 2017. And, and if I had invested earlier, like there were so many stocks that were way cheaper back then than they are now. You guys know Amazon is what $3,400. Back when I first got into the stock only about $1,300. So it doubled since then. And I know you can buy fractional shares of Amazon, but just keep in mind it's like, geez, the price of this stuff is just getting more and more and more and more. And yeah, it just becomes more expensive. But yeah, you can do fractional shares if you wanted to. I don't do fractional shares. I just buy whole shares, and then if I feel like it's getting too pricey, I just won't buy it or something because I always think like, oh, it has to double my money, right? So wow, I don't mind looking at the price. Like I don't mind looking at it. It's just I think that, what's going on with the GME thing is developing some really bad habits. So I'm going to be really relieved when this GME thing is over. Frickin' fully relieved. Once I get rid of BlackBerry, the stock, and then once I get rid of GME, I like, my stock has stability again. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I think I'm gonna take the funds out and just throw it into ARKK or ARKW and just say screw it. Just keep the money in there. If I wanted to pull it out for something else, or then I can just take the money out of those stocks. And but yeah, I don't see anything wrong keeping those two, ARKK and ARKW. I don't have to worry about it. So yeah. This is easily, I can say, the most stressful investment that I've had. This is way more stressful than holding on to JD for like 1.5 years, because like JD, I had faith that it was gonna go up because it had just so much going for it. But GME, it's like I see people losing their mind over it, and I think about how much yeah, I read all those stories where people say things like they they really needed it to work out because they had a lot riding on it, and it didn't. It blew up in their face, and now they feel kind of, they don't want to cash out, because if they cash out, then they realize their gain, and there is no way for it to go up because so they feel kind of stuck. And don't feel that way. I don't feel stuck having GME. I just feel a little disappointed because I strayed away from my own fundamentals. Same with BlackBerry. That's what it comes down to. Um, Learn from my mistake, my experience. Maybe GME will work out. Maybe having the diamond hands will pay off. I think we can conclusively say for BlackBerry, as much as I think BlackBerry is undervalued stock, I don't see the price point holding with the trend about what's going on, and I do see it going back to like not $7 or $9. And when that happens, I don't know how long it's gonna take, because I was holding on to BlackBerry for 2 years and it never broke out. Even in December, it's like, yeah, they did that partnership with Amazon, and it didn't go up either. Sorry, I just had an Oreo step on me. So yeah, Oreo, Oreo. Oh, the little emotional support cat is over here. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. I'm gonna get some sleep. Actually, hold up. Yeah, I gotta take a shower. Yeah, I didn't take a shower yet. Um, so I gotta take a shower. Yeah. Yeah, this is why, like, if you saw my previous streams, my hair looks kind of stringy because I sleep with wet hair if I take a shower late, which is not good. Not good. So I got Oreo over here. Oh, you smell like cat food. I think he just ate. Yeah, I've been using that dental supplement for him. It's been working wonders on his teeth, but I can tell he still has tartar buildup, and I don't know if the water's gonna be making a difference. So I told Lewis that we need to get Oreo dental cleaning, because I think that I can do the preventative measures, I can do the maintenance measures, but in terms of getting rid of like heavy set tartar or some really deep he has some grimy looking tartar on his teeth. Okay, like this cat, it's like he definitely needs some scraping going with his teeth. So yeah, for that, I think we're gonna have to bring him over to the vet. But right now there's so much snow and stuff. I don't wanna bring him over. So we'll see if anything's with the supplements and see if that makes a difference on his teeth a little. Yeah. Yeah, he has some I mean, this stuff looks like caked on tartar. I don't know how the hell his teeth got so bad. Boy, how did your teeth get so bad? Huh? Like he has the worst tartar of the other cats. Like Blackberry's teeth look and Clinton's teeth look so much better than Orioles. He's like a tartar magnet, and they all eat the same food. But I wonder if it's because maybe he had the tartar before. Maybe he was eating something before. Maybe that affected his teeth. I don't know, but yeah. So Lewis was telling me. He said, yeah, he wants. We should bring Oriole to the vet, get him dental cleaning, and because believe it or not, Lewis does not want me to say this, but he actually tells Oreo he loves him late at night. He tells Oreo he's a good boy and he loves Oreo. But allegedly. He's always going to say Oreo's a stinky cat or a stupid cat, but privately, at the end of the day, Oreo always sleeps next to him. So, you hear one thing on stream, but he really does love that cat. And, Tartar and all. Tartar, stinky butt, poop, and all. And Oreo really loves him too. Like he will shove his way to sleep between us. It's very strange. Like he wants to be like the bookmark between us. And I realize there will always be a separation between Lewis and me and the bed because Oreo himself and I'd say about 80% of the time Lewis gets his Oriole's paws on his shoulder and I get Oriole's back or his butt near me. So, I don't want to have your butt near my face, adjust yourself for it. Yeah. Yeah, so he really loves Oreo, but he won't say that. He'll just be like, oh, he's a stinky cat or a stupid cat, but I hear what he says to Oreo late at night. I hear it. Yeah, he snuggles so much. But yeah, you guys stay warm. You guys are warm inside wherever you are. We have window insulation up. It really makes a difference. And again, it's a really cold day outside. Lots of sun. If anybody is, without heat right now or hot water, again, there are some places, in some buildings in New York that don't have heat and don't have hot water, whether it be because of lack of building maintenance or lack of funds. My heart really goes out to you because, yeah, I really think I know this is gonna sound um, I really think people really need to have heat at the winter time, and if they don't get heat, then that's just I want to say it's really cruel for for gas companies or heating companies. Yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. You guys stay safe. See ya.